What's up, graphic designers? Today we're going to be applying the elliptical marquee, the rectangular marquee, and we're going to be designing a yearbook page featuring individuals you wish attended the New York City Lab School. Here is some inspiration from years past. You'll notice that there's 6 quadrilaterals. Typically they're black, sometimes they're pink, and I can see that there is an oval featuring the individual that these students wish went to lab. Here's how we're going to do it. This is how we start. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is when we open up Photoshop, we're going to click New File. And then at the top, we've got lots of tabs. I see film and video all the way on the right. But what we're going to do today, just about every day, is simply click print and then letter. And right now it's 8.5 by 11 inches. I can see that in the preset details. It's the size of a sheet of paper. We're going to change the orientation from portrait mode or like vertical mode to horizontal or landscape mode. The resolution is 300 pixels per inch. This is very critical because we want high res images. I'm going to click create in the lower right hand corner. And now we've got this. All right. So here is what I know. On the toolbar, we've got that move tool on the top. And then right beneath it, we've got the elliptical marquee. Now these tools are all context sensitive. So if you right click one, you can pull up multiple tools. Some of them have 3, some of them have quite a few. What we're going to do is make sure that we're using the rectangular marquee tool first. And then when the rectangular marquee tool is selected, I can see that we've got 4 options that influence the kinds of selections that we're going to be making with the rectangular marquee tool. So I'm going to click new selection. And then check this out. In the lower right hand corner, we've got the layers palette. And right next to the garbage can where we can delete a layer, we've got this icon which will allow us to create a new layer. And I'm going to left click it once and I can see that we've got layer 1. And I'm going to double click it. I'm going to simply call it squares. And I'm going to press enter. Beautiful. All right. So here is what I know. I'm going to click and drag. And we've got this selection going right here. And then I'm going to draw my attention about maybe 8 or 9 tools down. We've got the paint bucket tool. And I'm going to select this. And I can see at the bottom of the toolbar that black is in the foreground. That's great. And I'm going to left click once. This looks amazing. I'm going to press Command D to deselect. Tremendous. And then if I wanted to change the size, I know we could press Command T. And because this is on its own layer, we can manipulate the size. That's great. I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to shift this over. I'm going to press Command T. And then we could shrink it like so. Press check to confirm when we're done. And then we could use the rectangular marquee tool again. And this time, instead of clicking the icon in the lower right hand corner to create a new layer, what I'm going to do is press Command Shift N and then enter. That's another way to create new layers. Command Shift N and then enter. And so we got this new layer selected. We got the rectangular marquee. I'm going to left click and drag. I'm going to switch to the paint bucket and I'm going to left click. Beautiful. And we could do that one more time. So I'm going to press Command Shift N, enter. And when I draw my attention to the paint bucket, I know that if we right click it, we can pull up different tools. And you guys might have the gradient tool right there selected, right? That's when we can transition from one color to another. If you see this, be sure to right click, select the paint bucket, and then you can press M for the rectangular marquee. We're going to press G for paint bucket or select the paint bucket. Boom. Command D to deselect. All right. So now we've got these 3 squares so far. That's kind of tedious. You'll know that all these rectangles, they're not like uniform in size, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click 1, press delete, delete, delete. And here is a cool and fun way to create layers, specifically 6 boxes that are more or less the same size. I'm going to use the rectangular marquee. We're going to press Command Shift and enter. And then, actually, I'll illustrate how this works. We're going to create a selection, right? But if we wanted to carve away at a selection, what I'm going to do is draw my attention up here. And the second icon is to add to selection. We don't want that one. We're going to click the third one where we can subtract from selection. So if we subtract from the upper right hand corner by clicking and dragging, we're sort of carving away. I'm going to carve away, and we can even do it in the interior. And I'm going to press G, and I'm going to click inside these. Sometimes we call them like moving ants that are running around on the screen. Press Command D to deselect. There we go. But you know what? This isn't the shape that we want. I'm going to press delete. And here is what we're going to do. I'm going to make sure that new selection is selected. It's highlighted. I'm going to left click. We're going to press Command Shift N, enter, making sure that we're on a new layer. And now, if we use the paint bucket, we could do this, but you know what? We don't want to do this. We don't want to fill it with black. Instead, what we're going to do is carve out a few of these lines. So I'm going to return to the rectangular marquee. Now we're going to do subtract. And I'm going to look on the left side about halfway down, and we're going to sort of cut right across. that looks good. And I'm gonna press Command 0. Now, if we pressed G, you'll notice that we've got something that looks a little bit like this, but we're gonna need a few more divisions. So I'm gonna return to the rectangular marquee, subtract from is selected, and then I'm just eyeballing it. I'm gonna click right here and release. I'm gonna click and drag, and all of a sudden, this looks not bad. This looks amazing. All right, so I'm happy, you're happy. We set it up perfectly. It's on its own layer. Who are we adding? Well, I kind of wish I went to high school with Tim Robinson. He's a comedian on Netflix. He's freaking hilarious. Jalen Brunson, Will Ferrell. We've got our very next president of the United States, Kamala Harris, of course, and then the GOAT, LeBron James. So here is what we're going to do. We're going to right click. We're going to select copy image just like yesterday. And what we're not going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're not going to paste LeBron into this image. Instead, what I'm going to do is press Command Z to undo this. And just like yesterday when we were doing the human collage, we're going to click File, New, Enter, and then Command V. And I'm going to do that a few more times. So we'll get Kamala Harris. And the debate starts tonight at 9 o'clock. I don't know how I'm going to stay up for it. File, New, one more individual. Let's get Tim Robinson. He is a funny dude. Right click, copy image. I'm going to click File, New, Enter, Command V. Tremendous. All right, so we've got 3 people so far. Tim Robinson, Kamala Harris, and of course LeBron James. We're going to right click the rectangular marquee. We know that these are context sensitive. I'm going to find the elliptical marquee, and then we're going to click and drag. And when we release, we can see that we've got that ellipse. I'm going to press Command C to copy, Command V. We're going to use the move tool. We're going to shift it up, Command T, increases the size. Always check to confirm. Beautiful. M for marquee, or you can find it in the toolbar. We're going to release, Command C, Command V, Command T. We're going to shrink it down just a tad. This would be a very fun high school. And we're going to release, press Command C, Command V, Command T. And this looks amazing. I love this. All right, we're going to always press check to confirm. And so now here's what I know. We want white in the foreground because we're going to be adding some text. So you can flip-flop the foreground and the background. If black and white is set up as a default, white is now in the foreground. I'm going to press T for type, and I'm going to write LeBron James, and you guys can find a fun font. Check to confirm, Command T. I'm going to increase this text just a tad. And this looks amazing. So you're going to add the names of all the individuals you wish went to lab. One final step, and you guys might be watching this independently. I can't help but notice that in those examples that we saw a moment ago, just about all of them have this outline around all the individuals, right? How do we achieve this effect? That's a really great question. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw our attention to the layers palette, and we're going to want to make sure that we're on the individual that we want to add that outline. So I'm on the Tim Robinson layer, right? In layer 4, I'm going to click something called effects. It's a layer style icon in the layers palette. I'm going to left click, and we're going to add stroke. And you'll notice that the color is white and the position is outside. We could have it inside, but I think that doesn't look amazing. Typically we want it on the outside. We can adjust the size, and I think for this today's project, 16 pixels seems amazing. I'm going to jump to the Kamala Harris layer. I'm going to click effects. I'm going to select stroke, and this looks tremendous. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to write your name in the lower right hand corner or somewhere on here, and I'm of course going to write Droz. The year is 2024, and we're going to save this as a JPEG. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Good luck.